What you're looking at here is $250 worth of Lego Harry Potter sets, and these are the spring March 1st releases, all but two. I didn't get the Privet Drive and I didn't get the Boathouse, so these were all sent to me by Lan, and all these thoughts and opinions are definitely my own, because who else's would they be? All right, I want to first start off with the smallest, push these to the side without pushing them off the table. That is the goal. The Flying Ford Anglia, which retails for $20 and has 165 pieces, is not something that I personally need, but what I will say is that for $20, this is the cheapest Lego Harry Potter set we've seen in a long time, which makes it a very great gift, especially for someone who doesn't have Lego Harry Potter or is just a Harry Potter fan and hasn't really gotten into Lego yet. This can be their entry point. Now, the first thing I noted is that the roof is different. It's like really flat. It's just one tile piece, but it does actually make it a lot easier to pull off, and you can actually seat the figures side by side for the first time ever. There's room in there to actually fit Hedwig. You also get Scabbers too, so technically you can throw him in there, put the lid on the top, and off they go. Now, the color is actually different too. This is a light blue color versus the other previous renditions have been like that darker blue, which actually, this looks better. The trunk also has a lot of space. You can actually fit their trunks in the trunk. And as for stickers, you just get the front and back bumpers. And you also have this sticker on the dash. The steering wheel also looks kind of chunky, clunky, but I mean, what can you do? This set's tiny. Now, there's also a new piece in the set, which is that 1x2x3 graded piece, but without the grate, and that actually really helps the overall shaping of the Ford Anglia. It's rather an angled set. It's kind of a weird shape. And the two minifigures included are, of course, Ron and Harry with updated torsos. You can see their front and back face prints, and I think they look rather good. Now, is this a set that I think you need to have in your collection? By no means. If you already have the Privet Drive or even the other two previous sets that are semi-recent, I don't think you need to pick this one up. However, if you don't, then get this one. It's really good. I think it's probably the best one that Lego's ever made. Next up, we have the Forbidden Circle. What? No, the Forbidden Forest. And it's the Magical Creatures editions. But at $30, this just doesn't strike me as worth $30. To me, I look at this and I think, oh, this is a great $20 playset. You get Ron, you get Hermione, pretty much the same figures as we've seen before. But this time, Ron actually has a glow-in-the-dark lantern, which is cool. And Hermione has the triple molded legs and the skirt piece. In this set, you are going to get a bat, which, why is there a bat in this set? I don't get it. And next up, a Cornish Pixie. This one's cool because it's winking, which is different than the Cornish Pixie that came in the Great Hall set. And then you get this really cool glow-in-the-dark spider, and there's also glow-in-the-dark disc pieces that are like the mushroom caps. There's also a chicken leg in the middle, which possibly is to feed this Thrustrel, which is not new. We've seen this in the Thrustrel's carriage set last year. And of course, the Hippogriff, which is probably Buckbeak, which is the same one that came in the Courtyard Serious Rescue. Technically, Buckbeak should be gray, but they changed it to white for some reason, and here he is in the set again in the white color. Does this look like the Forbidden Forest? Sure. Otherwise, I feel like it would just be black and very, very dark gray. So I think this makes it a little bit more colorful. It's nice. You can clip these into a circle, but what I think is actually better is if you make it more of a backdrop, and I think what would look really good in front of the backdrop is the building that is in front of the Forbidden Forest, which is Hagrid's Hut. Oh my, I just broke Hagrid's roof. Who put this thing together? Where is the front door? This is the 5th version of Hagrid's Hut that Lego's ever made, coming in at $75, which is under 900 pieces. There are a couple minifigures, which I'm gonna grab. We've got Hagrid wearing an apron, so motherly of him. A new mold for Fang. I think that's really long overdue, and that's exciting to see. We've got a Harry Potter with an updated torso, and here's his back face print. We've got Hermione Granger, also with an updated torso, and Ronald Weasley, which I think has the best updated torso, because his sweater just looks like a hand-me-down. And lastly, Draco Malfoy, who's pretty much the same. Technically, shouldn't be wearing his like tie underneath, but hey, you know what? They just wanted to throw in some more Slytherin robes, and that's what we got.
My father hears about this.
Now, out of all the sets in the wave, Hagrid's Hut is the only one that I think I would have actually gone out and purchased because it actually looks so nice. Not only do you have a 360 degrees enclosed Hagrid's Hut, but this is different than the previous one because it doesn't have the other section of the hut like built onto it. This is actually the version from the first Harry Potter movie, Sorcerer's Stone. So this right here is like Fang's doghouse, which they actually put a lot of effort into. Every single roof piece to make this round is wedge plates that are clipped on, so that's actually pretty impressive, and Fang fits in there really nicely. He actually has quite a bit of space. For the actual Hagrid's hut, they did a really good job of doing color variation. There's even like texture around the doorway. You've got some mushroom caps, a little stump that Draco stands on, which I actually put on the correct side where there's a window so that he can actually be peeping in to find out what's going on in there. Now, if you pop off the roof, you can see the interior. There's actually a lot of space. You could actually get your hand in there, but it actually opens up. And instead of being a clip, it's actually on a stud, which to me just makes it feel a lot like sturdier. Like you're not gonna crush this thing trying to clip it together. It's just gonna like connect to a stud and it feels really sturdy. Then on the inside, this is just brimming with details. It looks so authentic. You've got baby Norbert the dragon who's just hatched out of this egg. You've got some nice sticker details. This cabinet actually has one of the collectible portraits. There's 14 in total, and you're gonna get 2 of them in this set. And then over here behind the fireplace is the second portrait. Also, a really fun Easter egg is that these 2 little printed tiles are Hagrid's oven mitts, and that this recliner actually reclines. Not very well when it's in place, but if you take it out, you can actually put Hagrid in it and he reclines. There's a really pretty rug underneath too that unfortunately kind of gets covered up when you put that chair back in there. You also have his iconic pink umbrella, some more sticker detailings, those snail rocks. That's another fun Easter egg. Those are the ones that Hermione chucks out the window. And there's also cups just everywhere because, you know, Hagrid's not the most tidy housekeeper. Where did this leaf come from? Now, this makes a really good play set, but it also makes a really good display set. So I feel like this is a win-win for both adults and kids that are actually going to play with it. It's a very good display set, and it's just very pretty overall. You have the moss on top with this little chimney, and these are like the monkey kid clouds that they used for smoke, which I think just looks so good. And of course, this little pumpkin patch out by the side. There was definitely a larger pumpkin patch in the last Hagrid's hut. But what this does have are those clips, and bringing back that Forbidden Forest set, I suppose if you wanted to like clip this on, you know, you could do something like that. But again, like this needs to be $20. This is too expensive of an add-on to create some foliage behind Hagrid's hut. Like I said, I think it's the best set in the way. So moving on, we have the Owlery and the Boathouse, which I'm gonna insert a picture of here because I don't have it. Now these 2 sets are the first pieces of the most detailed Hogwarts castle ever. And it has gray roofs. I know that people go back and forth saying that the sand green versus the gray are better than the other. And well, you know what? This year we're gonna have gray. So let me know in the comments if you prefer gray or sand green. Now the Boathouse is $38. It's got 350 pieces and it's gonna come with one of those collectible portraits. The really cool thing about this set is that McGonagall has arm printing for the first time, which looks phenomenal. And then additionally, you're gonna get Harry, Hermione, again with that skirt piece, Dean Thomas, and Neville Longbottom. The 2 really cool things about this set are the fact that the boats actually fit inside the boathouse. I mean, just one at a time, obviously. And there's an Easter egg where you can pull out this rock and find Trevor the Toad, which is Neville's toad that he's always looking for. But as you can see, I did not go out and purchase this set. I just wanted to make sure I covered it because I think it's pertinent with this new most detailed Hogwarts castle ever created. Because in my mind, when I see that, I just kind of look at this and say, here we go again. We have yet another similarly built exoskeleton of a build. However, this is not a location that I've seen before in LEGO Harry Potter. The Hogwarts Castle Owlery is going to retail for $45, and it has 364 pieces. Now, the Owlery looks pretty nice, actually. I love that they've covered it in white pieces all along the perches and edges. Even on the inside, you can see all these little white pieces drooping down to showcase all of the owl poop. Oh, it's snow. And I want to show you this really cool Easter egg because if you take the tower off, you can see they've actually made this part look like an owl's face, which is just so cool. Now that I've nerded out about that and broke the set, this one comes with Argus Filch, who is exclusive to the set right now, but is a little bit of a downgrade considering he doesn't have like leg printing or really anything different to make him better. And also is kind of a weird inclusion of the set overall, but really you're just recreating this little awkward scene right here between Harry and Cho Chang. You can place Cho Chang on the stairs, sort of, and then Harry just like awkwardly standing here blocking the way, not knowing which direction to go. But I think the minifigures themselves are actually really good. You've got Harry with the longer hair. He's got the mid-sized legs, although I do think they should be full-size legs, but at least they bend. And Cho Chang wearing that skirt piece over her pants with a scarf, and although the hair isn't really accurate, I think it looks just fine. Now, starting from the top here, we have these really cool owl perches on top, which are just like added details, which I think looks really cool. Some lanterns, you got a brown barn owl in the middle, one of those collectible portraits up top, and then you can see a bunch of letters just kind of like laying here and there because the owls do a really good job of also housekeeping. You've got a statue of an owl, And then the bottom, which has this really cool printed piece, which is the Ilops owl treats, which is really cool. Now, my favorite little owl is the Pigwidgeon, and I believe that's actually the owl that Sirius gave to Ron, and that is included, which is, I think, a recolor because he was originally in a Hawkeye set. And at the bottom, there's also a little rat. Could be Scabbers just out and about, and a spider on the side, just to make things feel more authentic. Now, on its own, the set really isn't that impressive, but considering it's going to connect to other sets to create a detailed Hogwarts castle, I'm here for it, and I'd really like to see what that's going to look like. Last up is the talking sorting hat, and this thing retails for $100, which is just crazy to me, but it does have this new talking box element with 31 different voice lines, and you get the Harry Potter minifigure with the sorting hat accessory. Now, summarizing the set is very simple. You get a base, and on that base, you have tiles with stickers for each house. There is a hole in the middle because that is so that it doesn't push this button where that is going to initiate the voice box. It actually pushes up on the lever and the lever pushes down on the button. It's actually a really cool mechanism in there. And you can also push from the top. That's right, I am a Hufflepuff. The face actually is the coolest part because when you move this top part, it actually does move the mouth and the eyebrows, which I think is so cool. And there are some hidden Easter eggs in the backside here. So if I pull this off and open this up, you're gonna be able to see the Rowena Ravenclaw diadem, the Hufflecup, Helga Hufflepuff, Hufflecup, the Sword of Gryffindor, and Salazar Slytherin's locket, which I think is a nice little Easter egg. I know people just really like that, like myself included, like when I'm building and I get to see little Easter eggs being included on the inside, it just makes the whole build experience that much more enjoyable. This is definitely a different kind of set, like a one-off displayable, like icons of Harry Potter type set that you would put next to your collection of Harry Potter books or other knickknacks that you have, and this would look really good next to it. But just be aware, like if you display it too high, the bottom of this is kind of ugly. So make sure it's at eye level. But like I said, summarizing what this is really simple. The fact that it's $100, I do feel like is a little pricey, but the build is fun and it's a displayable Harry Potter set. Big shocker, my favorite two sets are the most expensive. And now looking at all of this, yeah, it's $250. Lego is just plain expensive, but they are really putting a lot of effort and detail into updating things. And I can appreciate the fresh start that we're getting here with Harry Potter. So with the Boathouse and the Privet Drive Owl, that's over $320 for the March 1st Harry Potter wave, not including the brickheads. But go ahead and interact with me down in the comments to let me know what your favorite set of the wave is, what you think about this new Hogwarts castle incoming. I will say I was a bit burned out from all the modulars that were released over the last 2 years, so curious to see what we're gonna have here. Make sure to hit the like button on this video so that more people can find the second channel, and I'll see you next time for more reviews.